There's more bad news for former Trump attorney and former New York mayor, Rudy Giuliani. Turns out that the sources that he used in his investigation of President Joe Biden have been charged with treason. Wow. On Monday, Ukraine's security service notified Giuliani's top Ukrainian allies that they are suspects of treason, citing evidence that the officials participated in activities aiding Russian President Vladimir Putin. Oops. A Ukrainian member of parliament, Alexander Dubinsky, ex-Ukrainian lawmaker, Andrei Derkach, and ex-prosecutor Konstantin Kulik are suspected of joining an organization founded by chief members of Russia's military intelligence, while Giuliani worked to dig up dirt on President Joe Biden and his son Hunter in 2019. Oops, according to a statement. The organization received more than $10 million from the Russian Federation to discredit Ukraine on the international stage. Wow. Okay. Now, it is established that on the instructions of the Russian Special Services, it organized events to discredit the image of Ukraine in the international arena in order to worsen diplomatic relations with the United States and complicate Ukraine's accession to the European Union and NATO, the State Investigative Bureau said in a statement. Oh, gee, how did they go about doing that? Oh, perhaps by alleging that the now president of the United States was being bribed by Ukrainian oligarchs, and that the government was actively preventing an investigation into Hunter Biden. Now, of course, there's no hard evidence that Joe Biden was bribed by Ukraine, Burisma, whatever. There's a lot of innuendos, maybes, and the fact that Hunter Biden was, for a time, on the board of a Ukrainian gas company because, let's be honest about it, his last name. Yes, did they want to curry favor? Of course they did. Is there any evidence that that had actually curried any favor? No, there is not. So, now Dubinsky, who was also suspected of spreading fake news about Ukraine's political leadership, will be detained for about 60 days until January 12th, 2024, reported Reuters. Dubinsky was not named in the charging document, but was identified as a subject of the remand by other lawmakers. According to the outlet, Giuliani had met with Dubinsky and Derkach in Kyiv on December 2019 as part of his so-called documentary series with One America News on election meddling, hoping to discredit the presidential election results. Now, of course, the real meddling was actually done by Trump in 2020 with the fake elector plots, trying to overturn the legal results of the election. But look, we can go on and on about it, about all the stuff. But MAGA guys, Giuliani, Trump, they all basically
just forget about the evidence.
That's how they view it all. So what's the point, right? That said, the only person Giuliani was, successful at discrediting was himself. Nailed it. Great job. Well done. A former Ukrainian presidential advisor, Igor Novikov, told Time back in 2021 that he believed that Giuliani's actions in Ukraine had threatened their national security and that the country should not allow efforts to drag our country into our allies' domestic politics go unpunished. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? Look, Giuliani, I'm thinking that at some point this guy's got to flip. All it takes is one moment of sober reflection at what he's facing, and that's what it's going to take. Now, of course, the hard part is get him to a point where he's actually sober enough to have that reflection. We'll see what happens on that. Look, that said, this is another perfect example of how the allegations against Biden are coming apart at the seams. James Comer and his investigations have went absolutely nowhere, just waste time and money, and it's actually moved past some of that now. The Ukraine stuff, in fact, now it's he's talking about China influence. Look at all the money from China: $5 million, $10 million, $20 million. Next is $100 million, quintillion dollars. It doesn't matter. He's corrupt. He's corrupt. He's corrupt. Okay, but do you have any evidence to prove it? No? Okay, well, sit down. Shut up. Okay. As for Giuliani, like I said, nothing came of his investigation, and he himself being investigated, and it's not going well. He's not winning with this.